Hello everybody, happy Friday night. Welcome to my Zen Den. So glad that you could join me. Excuse me, if you're watching the replay, thank you for tuning into the replay and taking the time to watch it. And if you're watching it on YouTube, I'm so glad that you found me. I am Mandy VanHavermaet. I am with, I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up in Grey Eagle, Minnesota. So, thank you for watching. I am sick of winter. I'm in central Minnesota and it has been a bear. You people who are local with me, my Minnesotans, it's been terrible and I'm absolutely sick of it. And I thought we were like, part of me thought, okay, it's going to be done. We're going to be done with winter because it got nice this week and now it's going to rain, and rain in the winter sucks. And so I propose that we all just hang out and craft all weekend long. I think that that's what's going to have to happen. The only spring that we're going to be getting is what we create in our craft rooms. So tonight I pulled out flowery paper and happy springtime colors, and I am going to make some happy springtime themed cards because I think that's the only way we're going to get through this nastiness that is winter. So, yes, Pam, like, it's been bad. Ugh. So, let's create some cards. I am going to flip the camera around here and we will get started. 1 second. And, you know, Pam, the thing is, like, give it a couple months, right? And we'll be saying, oh my gosh, the heat, it's so hot out. But right now, I'd be happy with, like, you know, nothing falling out of the sky and like above 0. That's where I'm going for. So, I'm not using just one stamp set tonight. I just found flower paper that made me happy, and that's what I'm using. So the first set that I'm going to use is Dragonfly Garden. I'm just using stamps out of it, but this does have a punch that goes with it that punches out the dragonflies. It's a red rubber stamp set. The stamp sets that I'm using tonight are both from the big catalog, the big main catalog. So there's that. I've got a piece of designer series paper. This is from the small catalog. It is the Flowering Fields. Lots of beautiful tulip designs inside that paper. It's very, very pretty paper. And then I've got a piece of petal pink then to go with it, and that is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the center at 4 1/4. So we'll fold and burnish that. And then I've got a scrap of Poppy Parade, which is the red that's inside of here, and a scrap of basic white. And then I've got petal pink ink. So let's open up our ink pad. Well, there we go. I put my finger right in it. Luckily, it's a lighter color, so it won't look like I'm all inked up. But you know it happens every once in a while. We love to ink our fingers up, right? All right, so I'm going to make sure that my card base opens correctly. And this, I'm going to take, there's a little stamp here that's got some, like, it's little dragonflies, but it kind of looks like butterflies. It just looks like, it looks like critters, I guess. So I'm going to stamp those up in the corner. Just a few of them. All right, just like that. And that's all I really need to do for that, because I'm going to cover all but that corner. This is going to be a fold over, the corner fold card. I'm not sure if you are familiar with that. I think I've done one before. And then I've got a stamp that says, for a true friend. I'm kind of, I guess I'm themed kind of on friendship cards, cards that we could just send to our friends to brighten up their day. I'm using the double oval punch, and on the basic white part, I am going to punch out that for a true friend. I love the double oval punch because Then I am going to take, let's set the paper down, not the stamp, or not the punch. Then I'm going to take my Poppy Parade, and I'm going to punch the scalloped part out in the Poppy Parade. And that'll give me a nice layer to make my card with. Okay, so my stamping is all done. So we'll close that up. And so to make a fold, a corner fold card, basically, if you would want to score it, you can. I find that I don't necessarily need to score it. I generally will just fold it where I want it. And even if you weren't to crease it really tight, if you left it a little bumped up, it's going to give you just that little bit more texture. Or you can definitely crease it. It's totally up to you. So that's where I'm going to, it is going to crease if you mail it. So just so you know, are aware of that. So we're going to attach that down. And I love corner fold cards because if you can't decide which piece of the designer series paper you like better, this way you're getting a little bit of both. So there you can see my little fluttering little dragonflies there. I'm going to take a glue dot, and you can take a glue dot, or you can take a little piece of, well, we could take some, you could take a glue dot, or you could take some of your Snail Plus, or Snail, I'm sorry, not Snail, Stampin' Seal. Whew, it's been a long week. And so I am going to adhere this right down there, and then I'm going to bump that up. So put this, and for real, like the quickest, easiest cards you can possibly make, right? Like that. And then we'll take a couple of dimensionals and pop that up. And I think I'm going to have to find some ribbon. I'm going to have to find some ribbon because this is missing. This is missing something here. It needs a little something. Let's find some ribbon to put on that. How about, I like the white, but I have a petal pink. I've got my petal pink blends. The white binding, seam binding ribbon is what this is called. It's our crinkled seam binding ribbon. It's also from the big catalog. And I like basically any white ribbon or any light colored ribbon you can color. So, yeah, we're going to do petal pink. I was thinking, should we do Poppy Parade or should we do petal pink? I'm going to do petal pink. And it doesn't look like much. You do need to let it dry a little bit though. Because like this one will leave your hands kind of, it's very light. So it's alcohol. It doesn't take that long to dry. But I like that a little bit better than the white. So hopefully I got enough color there. I'm just letting it dry a little bit so I don't end up with it all over my hands. You know I'm going to struggle. How do you guys like to tie ribbons? Do you like to tie bunny ears, or do you tie, this is how I tie. This is how I tie my shoes also. But I know some people are like exclusively the bunny ears, and some people do it this way, and I've seen others do it other ways. So there's no right or wrong way as long as the finished product is something that you are satisfied with, right? Because after all, this is our art. This is our creation. This is what makes our souls happy, right? So, well, this is fantastic. Here, I tell you, I tie it like I tie my shoe. It's not working out very well for me. Oh, word. Let's try the bunny ears. Maybe that'll make it a little better. Or maybe I'm just going to have to raise my hand and Weston's going to have to come over here and do it for me. He's over there saying, I could do it. I could do it.
No.
Oh, no?
I'm saying I won.
Oh, you won. He's playing Wii something.
Yeah.
Wii Sports.
Oh.
There. Better. Whew. Give it a little time. We'll get there eventually. Okay. Let's snip that off. All right, and I'm going to put that right down underneath. So I'm going to grab a glue dot. Put it right down underneath my oval, just like that. Oh, that does say spring, doesn't it? That is like such a happy springtime card. So happy. I love it. All right, so there's card number 1. And again, you could do this with any piece of designer series paper. Totally would work. So card number 1. All right, card number 2. I am using the stamp set Biggest Wish. This is also from the main catalog. It is a photopolymer stamp set. Really, really cool. It's got the same 5 words. So it's got thanks, birthday, happy, hello, and friend. And then thanks, birthday, happy, hello, and friend. So it's just 2 different fonts, and they're made to go together, to blend together. Very cool. Something else that is to keep in mind, these are perfectly spaced, these here big ones, to use for the stamp, with the Stamparatus as the hinge technique, where you work your way down. They're perfectly spaced for that. So it's a great Stamparatus set. Pool Party ink and basic black ink. I have got, all right, so I've got a few pieces here. I've got a piece of Pool Party cardstock, and that's cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the center at 4.25. I've got a piece of designer series paper, and this is from Handed Penned, and it is 2 by 5.5. And then I've got 2 labels from the Tasteful Labels, and I ran them out quick for us because I'm using photopolymer. So I'm taking a chance that this is going to stamp correctly the first time. This one is Basic White. This one is Daffodil Delight. All right, and so let's do our stamping. With this stamp set, I am going to warn you, it's pretty critical that you use a Stampin' Pierce mat when you're stamping. This big solid, for these here, these big solid letters, they tend to get really kind of choppy if you don't use either a Stampin' Pierce mat or some kind of mat to cushion your stamps in. And that's just something that I've found. So I'm going to take my Pool Party ink, and I have got the big thick Hello. I'm going to test this out first, just to make sure that it's stamping nice. It is. Wonderful. If I wouldn't have, you would have known what would have happened, right? I'm going to center that right in here. Just like that. So hello, like that. And then in the Memento Black, I'm going to put the word friend. So hello, friend. All right. So just like that. So that becomes our sentiment. Isn't that fun? I really like how this stamp set works. And it's got, you can mix and match and make so many different sentiments. So much fun. Love it. One of my favorites from the catalog. I've actually used it a lot. So one more element that we're going to do before I assemble our card. I've got the, let's see here, frayed ribbon. And this is 3/4 inch thick. I think we did this last week also. I really like this frayed ribbon. I think it's so pretty. I have found that it works well as like a piece of, an accent piece, not necessarily as a ribbon, like a bow. So I am going to, about that long. Okay, and I'm just measuring it here. Going to be an accent piece. Something else that I have found is that it frays really bad at the ends. So I've found that using a lighter, and I know I'm using a lighter around paper, right? But just putting a little bit of heat at the end there, it's going to seal up those ends so that they don't fray, and your card isn't going to look icky. Something I will advise you is do not do this after you've colored them with alcohol markers. They do light on fire. The stamping blends are alcohol markers, so the alcohol will light up, and that's not really what you want to happen. You don't want to burn your ribbon. So I'm going to pull my my mat back in, my little silicone mat, and I've got a Highland Heather light blend. And here again, this is a white ribbon, a very light colored ribbon, and so our alcohol markers, our blends, color them so nicely. So basically what I'm telling you is when you buy a spool of white ribbon, for the most part, you've got any color ribbon that you have a blend for, which is really, between the two pieces, that's really a great value. And my advice is don't overcolor it, because it dries at different rates. So don't overcolor it. Let it dry before you go back and hit your spots a second time if you've missed something. Okay, so let's assemble our card. And the reason I used this is so that if I did go off, it would, it disappears. It is easy to wash off. So I am going to fold and burnish my piece of Pool Party cardstock. And again, if you ever see me flipping my cards, it's because one side is just a little bit longer than the other. It's hard to get it exactly perfect, right? So I will take the side that's longer and put it on the top. It seems like it's easier to catch when you open. So that's why I'm flipping my cards around. I can justify that one. So I'm going to take my piece of Hand Penned Designer Series paper, and I'm going to line it up at the top edge and all the way down to the bottom. And I'm leaving a gap over here because I think that adds just a little bit of interest. And my paper is just a little bit longer. My Designer Series paper is just a little bit longer. So I'm going to cut that, trim that off with my snips and just get that out of the way. All right, so now I am going to take this piece of frayed ribbon and I'm going to attach that right there. And to do that, I'm going to use just a little bit of the mono glue, and I'm going to run it along in a line right there. You don't need a ton of it. You don't want it squishing out, but just enough to hold it down like that. And so after it, if you leave it sit, just push it down, make it nice, make it pretty, and then don't touch it because otherwise it's going to wiggle on you. Okay, so the way that I layered these, the Tasteful Layers or Tasteful Labels dies are fantastic because you can label them, you can layer them any direction. There's lots of labels and they all kind of, they complement each other very nicely. And so this time I'm going to do it just a little different. I am going to go that way. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right there, like that. And then I'm going to take and flip it over and put dimensionals on the back. And this part here is going to be, the ribbon is going to be behind it, so I don't want to put a lot of dimensionals there because it's really going to make the thickness of your card vary a lot. And that just, I'm not a big, so you could go like this, But I think I'm going to pull it over just a little bit like that. Isn't that cute? Oh, it's so fun. And then one more thing, I've got the Iridescent Rhinestone Jewels. And I think they're just so pretty because they totally pick up whatever, they shimmer so nice. I just love them. I just love them. So I'm going to put one, let's see, that's the smallest one. I think I'm going to do two small ones up top, like so, and then one medium-sized one kind of in the middle, so they make a triangle in the bottom. Isn't that cute? I love that. So I want to show you what I mean about the different sentiments. This was my prototype card. This is the card I designed before, and so you can see I swapped out the sentiments, the direction that they are. Where I did hello friend, I did hello in the scrolly and friend in the big block. The one I just did the hello in the big block and friend in the more cursive-y kind of thing. So let me know which one you like better. I think it's fun. It's fun to be able to switch those up and change them out a bit. It's just kind of a neat, makes it more usable, right? So let's see here. That's the cards. So those are the cards that we did tonight. So I'm really in the mood for spring, and so I think they're fun springtime cards. So I'm going to flip the camera around here. Somebody is saying the struggle is real. Oh my word. You're not kidding. The struggle is so real. All right. You would think I'd be able to hit these buttons right here. There we go. That's me. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you're watching on YouTube, please like my channel and subscribe. That way you know whenever I upload a new video to YouTube. Otherwise, I will see you next Friday night right back here on my Facebook page. Have a great weekend. Stay warm. Thanks. Bye.